Welcome to Thunderpunk Radio. Last day of SHOT Show, one of our last interviews, and we're here with Steve with Door Jamm, one of the developers for Door Jamm. Steve, what is Door Jamm?
Well, Door Jamm is a simple door control device that law enforcement and fire and EMS and even the trades can use to control a door while they're working on a scene. So, yeah, it's basically a rubber.
You got it right there.
Yeah, I got it
go.
Conveniently on me. So you can carry these anywhere. You can carry one folded in half in the back pocket. You can sit on it for hours and never bother you. Got one on a carabiner here. But basically, it's a simple latch strap that goes around doorknobs to prevent the latch from going into a door. So it provides you temporary door control. So wherever
Super
you might,
simple.
yeah, wherever you might use a door wedge or something like that, this is an alternative you can carry that's much more comfortable and much more versatile than anything like that.
Now tell us, you told me already, but tell us how that you developed it and what you started using it first and realized that it just didn't last very long, and why you had to take matters into your own hands.
Right. So working as a full-time police officer in Southern California, we run across a lot of dense urban environment, and a lot of these condos and apartments, they're protected by an exterior gate or some sort of exterior access door, typically controlled by a code or a magnet or something like that. So once we got through that door one time, then we normally place something in the door. Like it might be junk mail on the ground. It might be a business card or a field interview card that we carry.
Or that's leaving you at the mercy to your environment.
Yeah,
hopefully something's there.
It's pretty unreliable, and nobody really knows who put it there. So we took to an old concept of using basically a piece of rubber with a couple holes in it,
inner tube.
But you're using inner tube from bicycles.
So we used to do that in the military. We used to do what's called ranger bands. So you'd cut up to like help secure your gear.
Oh yeah,
it was
together.
So
yeah, similar concept, right? But the rubber inner tube is not meant to stretch like something like this, right? Where it's stretching over and over many times and reliably. So plus you only find an inner tube usually in black. So over time, we eventually developed the Door Jamm into a 3-inch by 10-inch sheet of rubber. It's blended here in the U.S., cut here in the U.S. and printed.
Wait, the rubber's not grown here in the U.S.?
No. But it is blended from products around the world where all those things are
right.
found.
Yeah, you can't really grow rubber in the U.S. But no, that's cool that like you make sure you get the materials here and then do as much in the U.S. as possible.
Absolutely,
that's like kind of big deal.
Yeah,
so,
this is a small business between myself and my partners. We're half and half on, and we developed this together for our own needs, but realized that there's so many more people that need to use this. So we promote this to the fire service and emergency, ambulance, paramedics, and so on. But like I mentioned earlier, but also into the trades.
Into the trade. So I grew up, my dad's an electrician. I grew up working with him, electrical, heating. My brother-in-law does electrician stuff too, but also we install so many furnaces and air conditioners and heat. So that's a huge benefit for the trade industry.
Right, and it presents a much more professional image than an electrician
finding something to prop the door open,
or even just using duct tape at a client's property.
Oh yeah.
You know, you might use duct tape at a client's property, and they're not really particularly happy about you leaving like maybe duct tape residue. Plus, it takes you some seconds to pull it off, put it on, then you got to remember to come back and take it off. Where if you use this and we print it with your branding on there, it provides that professional level, that image that you may want to promote to your clients.
And plus, like a high visible color, it's harder to forget. You can see it right away. You can see it in the bottom of your tool bag or wherever you want to carry it.
Yeah. So wherever you want to carry it, right? I mentioned back in the pocket, a carabiner, but you might also hang it on to if you're talking about the trades or even somebody with a tactical vest. There's even tool vests now with that have MOLLE.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, and
so, nice MOLLE holder.
The filmmaking world is also switching to like kind of MOLLE for the riggers and the grip crew and everything. Right. Yeah, so.
and why is that? It's because of ergonomics, right? With
versatility,
and workplace injury, and you want to get weight off of the hips. You want to bring it onto the body to support it. So you're seeing that versatility in the tool world, and it is also in the tactical world as well. So this is a nice little holder that we had developed. It's on a Blade Tech MOLLE holder.
We did a Blade Tech interview. I'm a big Blade Tech fan. They make really good stuff.
This is solid stuff, right? And then this is high quality Kydex.
Oh, cool! Yeah, I just noticed that.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's a nice Kydex piece, and this will slide in and out. You kind of wherever you attach it, you can slide it out. You can use this Door Jamm, and then you slide it back in there. It's ready for the next time. Right?
Nice.
So whether it says police out here, or if it's high vis yellow, or if you want to,
tactical
real
black or whatever.
discreet and do plain black and smooth black. This would look good on a tool vest or something like that as well. So,
I think like back in my day, we probably could have used them, but as I was mentioning earlier, usually when we hit houses, we destroyed the lock.
Sure.
You know? But like if you're moving through a complex or something, or I was thinking, I didn't do a lot of ops in Baghdad. I imagine where there's more modern buildings, that something like this would definitely, come in handy. And even, I work a lot in the security world. Something like that would be handy for not as often as I think police or emergency personnel, but sometimes we respond to emergency situations. So something like that would be awesome to have in a security side as well.
Right. So. And that's why this is important is we're trained and we're taught that if I'm in trouble on one side of a locked door, I wish my help can come get me real fast. They don't need to necessarily climb over a wall, look for a way through a fence, bust their way through a door. I would like for them to walk through the door, right?
Yep.
And get there really fast and to know which door I went through. So it's a great marker for a door, and it's a super reliable way
I didn't
to
think
hold
about
the door.
that too. Yeah, just like because we would drop chem lights. We would drop chem lights based on like if the room was cleared or, casualty collection point or, hey, this is where we're setting up our new, I got rid of all the acronyms out of my head with a ball peen hammer when I got out of the army. But we would mark rooms with chem lights, and so that's actually not a bad way to do it too for like SWAT in a building if you have to commandeer like, hey, this is our logistics and operations room now. And that makes sense.
Yeah,
too.
we've seen some of that in some of the tactical operations where the barricaded suspect inside of a motel room, they have a target room. And the team is staging in other rooms that are now been vacated.
Okay.
And they'll use door jams on the doors that they're coming out of so they can get back into without using a key card that they got from the manager.
Which, if you hold it next to a magnet or something, I can see how
this is one of those tools. It just simply works that way. It's very versatile in so many different applications, whether it's, tactical stuff or law enforcement.
Cool.
The fire EMS for smoke control and airflow control. Yeah. And giving them ingress and egress on high rises where they'll make their way up stairwells through controlled doors. They'll have to breach it just one time, but they want to control that airflow. So that's where it works there too.
So tell us about your entry key next. And then,
So the Williams key is developed by a Los Angeles County firefighter. His name's Trevor Williams. He's a good friend of ours. He works in the same area that we do in Southern California. So he developed this out of an old, basically like we talked about, inner tubes, right? Inner tubes for door jams. Well, firefighters for many, many years were using framing squares and grinding them down in their shop at the garage at home and using them to go in between the gap of the door jam and manipulate the lock so they could get a door open respectfully, right? They didn't always have to break down all the doors.
Right, yeah. So
and
when we broke doors, we'd later come with money or materials or the engineers would to fix the doors that we broke when we were overseas.
Right.
Usually.
Right.
So, but yeah.
And in some cases, in cases of fire, you want to get access to it.
You want to be able to use that door again, possibly to shut it off.
Or to shut off the airflow, right? So that's what this is also for. Is like I said, any way you can get into a complex at one time, then you want to maintain that. So a key like this, like the Williams key, will give you access, and then the door jam complements it by maintaining the access as long as you need it.
And you said this was the one that you actually kept in your cruiser, and that's why you got that tape on there.
Yeah, I put this is the one I use on patrol. Got my employee numbers on there in case anybody decided they wanted it. Any of my coworkers.
Oh, gotcha.
Right. I mean, it happens.
People borrow things.
Yeah.
It happens. It happened in the military too.
Right. So I just put some tape on it so I could see it in my patrol car at night. Get a little bit of light. Oh, there it is. I can grab and go. Try to make things a little easy and efficient for me. So this is one version of that. So the way it works is just it slips in behind the latch, so you manipulate it and you can get the door open without having to necessarily break things. So this is a standard version. There's also a slimmer folding version. So this one is pretty nice where there's an available Kydex sleeve with 2 Blade Tech Molly holders on the back of it. And this is something you could put on a bag and have it available. See it now.
Or like on the back of when guys on your team pull it out for breaching. And another thing is that just breaking doors is often loud too, so this could be a way to silently enter for the element of surprise. Yeah.
To be discreet. So it looks like it's missing a piece, but that's what this knob is for, right? You loosen it up a little bit, move it around, tighten it up. Now I have the same tool that I did, right?
It's very similar to other carpenters' tools. You know,
Right.
like yeah.
Yeah. So Trevor is a former carpenter and actually installed doors for a living before he was a firefighter. So this is where his mind is.
Great guy to figure out how to get into a door.
Right, right, and to make tools, right? So that's what you have for getting in, staying in, and doing it in a way that's respectful to the property. You're not damaging hinges, and it's doing it reliably, so that the hinges are doing it reliably, so that those improvised devices that you may have used in other cases, that you just don't have the problems. Or
you don't have to worry about them breaking and whatnot. All right, Steve, how can people find out more about Door Jamm?
Real simple. You just need to look at www.doorjam.com, or you'll also find us on Instagram at Door Jamm. Be glad to help you and also show you videos there, demonstrations, and pictures of how other people are using it in their own environments.
Awesome. And, you know, I didn't even think about it from the contractor side, and like growing up doing that kind of work and doing that work recently when Hollywood was shut down with my family. Like that's a great idea for them. So I'm really glad I came out to do this video.
We're seeing a lot more also in the entertainment industry. So they're keeping keeping those doors open, but also not letting in climate, not letting out noise. All those sorts of things that you want to control the set.
When you're moving into studios, and like often when we rent out office buildings or this and that, you don't always we got to get the site rep down here. We got to so for like riggers, for grips, for like the prop guys and everything. This actually would be a great thing to have in the film industry too. So hey folks, thank you so much. If you could like the video, if you liked it, but only if you liked it. I always ask because that way it reminds people, and it really helps us out with our algorithm. You know, share the video. If you know anybody that could use a Door Jamm, we'd appreciate if you'd share it. We'd really appreciate your subscription or a subscription to Time Magazine. I'm just kidding. I'm tired. This is funny stuff though, right?
It's been a long week, but you know what you can do at the end of a long week?
Push-ups.
Push-ups, baby.
Thanks, folks. Have a wonderful day.